Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. Well, we hope everyone had a great Shabbos and enjoyable weekend here in the American Northeast. The great Yontif of Mother's Day was celebrated, so for those who observe, I hope it was good. But we begin a new week of learning as we get closer to Chag Matan Torah, and we ask you to please continue for davening for Chaylei Tzva Gna Yisrael for Shlem Chol P'tzvei Yisrael. Safety of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. We learn each day Le'ilei Nishmat Seren Daniel Shimon ben Harav Deron V'Shal Shem Kam Damo. So the next chapter, Sov Zmana. Zman Tefillas Mincha Nimshach Ad HaErev. The time to daven Mincha continues and it goes until Erev. And this is sort of a weighted term, as we're going to see in one moment. So we don't know. We have a machlokas. What time exactly does that mean? When is the exact time? And this machlokas depends on a certain question. When, if mincha is based on the carbon tamid that was brought in the afternoon, when is the end time for that carbon? Some say that the time for sprinkling the blood of the tamid was up until sunset only. Therefore, one can daven mincha up until sunset. And some say that you can daven mincha up until nightfall because the process and procedure of the carbon tamid, which was brought in the afternoon, would continue until nightfall. There are other parts, sprinkling the blood, fats, etc., any sort of libations, and this is how most poskim agree. A very, very long note here. If you look in the Ramah, the Shulchan Aruch, and Siman Reish Lamed Gimel, you will see much more of this. Lamaisa, but what do we do practically? One should try and complete mincha by sunset. In a case of great need, we could rely on most poskim that you could daven up until 14 minutes after sunset, because according to everyone, everybody agrees that nightfall has not really begun. And he writes here in the parentheses, 4.8 ma'alot me'aver l'ofek. And again, using the technical terms of your latitude, longitude, etc., as we discussed way, way, way long ago when we discussed the Zmanim for Tefillah. You could even say Tachnon Yugdal Midas during this time as well. And again, different opinions here brought in note 4 from the Vilna Gaon or Shulchan that say otherwise. So again, you have to ask your local rabbi what to do. Hopefully most people try and daven for Shkia. Again, we're not talking about Hasidim, certain places where they specifically daven late. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about sort of the normative practice of davening before Shkia. So let's say you have two options in front of you, to daven by yourself without a minyan before sunset, or to daven with a minyan after sunset. Some say it's better to daven by yourself before sunset, and according to most poskim, it's better you should daven with a minyan at the later time. Let's say they started late, the minyan starts late, you're waiting for somebody to come, or whatever happened. So some say you shouldn't just give up on Chazaras HaShatz, but rather you could say Chazaras HaShatz after sunset. And some say, therefore, that you shouldn't do Chazaras HaShatz afterwards, and we don't want you saying the repetition after Shkia. So therefore, in that instance, the Chazan should say, this is what we call a Haicha Kedusha. He should start saying the first three out loud, and then we could say Kedusha. And both have a standing in halacha, and when the rabbi's there, you should certainly ask what to do. I'll just tell you that, practically speaking, in our shul, when this happens, when we get to a certain point, we realize that Chazaras HaShatz is going to be too late, then we do a Haicha Kedusha at like the second opinion, because we don't want to say Chazaras HaShatz too much after Shkia, after sunset. But the scheduling of Mincha for the entire year, again, we look at the Zmanim very, very carefully, and it's something that we have to take seriously, of course, based on these halachos. So, thank you so much for joining us for another week of learning. Please continue davening for Chaylei Tzva Gna Yisrael. Yisrael, say, dear brothers and sisters in Israel, we learn each day Le'ilui Nishmat Daniel Shimon Arab Durum V'Shloshim Demo. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you here next time.